He won like. Okay, so I gotta let you guys know. Right now. I'm in front of the Apollo because I just left a double Dutch competition. That was freaking amazing. Okay, I have so much to say. I took so many notes that I really wanted to be able to do this while I could look at my notes, but I'm just gonna do the video now. Hope I remember everything. So this competition, there was kids. I think 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And then there might have been some older, I don't know. But there was, oh, this girl jumping now is pretty good. Let me flip it over. Let's see. You missed her. Anyhow, there was a series of rounds, and there were a bunch of teams from New York City, from Brooklyn, from Harlem. But also from North Carolina. And the kids from North Carolina, to me, they were the best. I'm sorry. Well, and the Japanese. So there were people from Japan. You know the Japanese always got it. Hong Kong, Belgium. The people from Belgium were absolutely amazing. And it's dope because, you know, I used to think that Double Dutch came from New York City. Let me know, can you guys still hear me? Because something just happened with the camera. So somebody let me know if you can still hear me so I don't keep talking for no reason. Somebody let me know if you can hear me. But apparently Double Dutch came from when the Dutch came to New York. When the Dutch came to New York, they brought it with them. And I always knew of it as like a New York City sport. It's something that black girls did. And I don't really even see it that much anymore. But to see... you know, like the elements of hip hop that were incorporated into the double dutching. There were, like the Japanese kids, they were breakdancing and stuff, you know, while they were double dutching. There were teams of, like me growing up, actually, I only saw, you can't see this little girl right now. She's too cute. I only saw girls jumping double dutch growing up. Even though I know a dude from Harlem who told me he saw dudes doing it, I only saw girls doing it. But in this competition, there was girls and guys. There was white and black. There were teams from North Carolina that was black and white. They had white dudes, white girls, black girls. It was all black, white, and Asian. There were teams that were all black. There were teams that were all white. There were teams that were mixed. And... then it was basically Asian, black, and white. There was no Hispanics, no Spanish-speaking people. And, you know, as a dancer and a performer, first of all, to be at the Apollo is a pretty big deal for most people. And these kids didn't seem nervous at all. The level of showmanship that they had, you know, I wish I could have filmed some of it, but there's no filming and photo taking, which is the case in a lot of theaters. And you can't really be present and film at the same time. But it's just dope to see the elements of hip-hop and seeing, like, you know, some of these kids dancing to old school hip-hop and stuff that you might think died out, or you might think that... To me, first of all, it's just refreshing. For me, it's just refreshing to see young kids being super active. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays it seems like kids just play video games. So to see them being super active, to see them having good sportsmanship, you know, because like the thing that you learn, I'm a huge believer in playing sports as a child. Because playing team sports as a child teaches you how to not be a sore loser. It teaches you how not to give up. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you how, like, and then when you're a dancer and you're performing, you know, it's different than like if you're playing basketball. If you play basketball and you drop a ball, you pick the ball up, you keep going, of course. But when you're dancing and doing choreography, if you miss something important, especially when props are involved, if you miss something important, it can be really hard to get yourself back on it again. You know what I'm saying? And so to see them, some of them messing up with the ropes, but then they're still on it. And they were doing certain choreography too. Like there were certain speed competitions and stuff like that they were doing. But then there was like artistic like choreography where they were switching ropes and like who was, you know, like they're flipping through the jumper, flipping through it, switching who's the turner, like just doing a whole lot. There's a whole lot going on. I've never seen anything like it. Okay. So now you have people outside jumping double dutch, just who are watching. And, you know, they were trying to make double dutch a professional sport. I mean, not professional sport, an Olympic sport. Right before COVID happened, it was about to make it into the Olympics in Japan. So they're trying to make double dutch an Olympic sport. Now this right here is, hold on, I should know this man's name. It's a classic that happens every year. It's been happening for 31 years, but I want to know the man's name that started this, and I can't remember his name. Damn it. I'll put it below. David A. Walker. This is the David A. Walker Double Dutch Classic. Okay, that happens every year around this time. I was supposed to be a judge last year, but I couldn't because of all the COVID mandates, which are all done, the jab mandates. And it's just, there's a whole crowd out. Hold on, let me turn the thing around, because there's a whole, every time I turn the camera around, the people leave. But there's a whole crowd out here jumping. And this is the thing, too, that's so dope about New York and Harlem. I mean, look, you can go shopping, too, on the sidewalk. But, you know, my experience growing up in New York, I grew up with a mixed group of people, you know what I'm saying? There was no beef. It was black, Asian, white, Jewish, everything. And my friends were everything, and we all got along. And that is what, you know, I saw today at this competition. I love watching mixed group of friends, and even, you know, from like North Carolina. Go ahead, it's okay, no worries. It just reminds me of how I grew up, you know, and I just love it. It was just dope. This is a cute little crowd out here. I mean, I never learned how to jump double dutch. I can jump single rope, but double dutch is a different skill. And every time I turn the camera around on them, they stop jumping. Okay, look. Okay, here's a older woman. It looks like she's about to get in. Uh-oh, she's taking off her heels. Uh-oh, you see her? Uh-oh. This is why I love New York. There's so much energy in New York on the sidewalk. This woman she got barefoot, yo. She got barefoot. Yeah, she took off her heels. She about to jump rope. Let's get it. This is what makes New York so dope. Tell me what other city you're gonna see this on the sidewalk right now. Tell me. And in front of the Apollo. Okay. Her feet not cold? I guess not. She about to jump. The winter ain't stopping nobody. People be over here complaining about cold weather. Cold weather ain't nothing. You just keep it moving. Now, here. She's about to come. I'm waiting for her to go, though. Uh-oh. She's taking off everything. She about to get it. You see so much energy out here. There's no other city with so much energy. And all this energy is not even from the Apollo. It's from just Harlem, okay? Okay, uh-oh. She about to go. Let's get it. Okay. This is how I want to be like her when I grow up. Oh, two of them are about to jump in. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Let's get it. Oh, okay.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Hey, mamas.
Uh-oh. Look at her.
That's a veteran, buddy.
Yo.
That's a veteran.
Word.
Veteran, putting it in.
She got. Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. See, oh, thank you. See, that's the type of shit that makes New York so dope. And then, you know, walking down 125th Street, some of the vendors are starting to shut down, but you can buy whatever you want on this sidewalk. Crystals. Actually, that woman who just threw something out, she's the president of the Harlem Swing Society. But there's vendors on both sides of the street, and they be selling everything. You want to buy crystals, clothes, shoes, jewelry, earrings, shea butter, whatever. Yeah, but that woman was definitely the truth, okay? There is no place like New York. So when people be trying to act like New York is overrated, that shit's a lie. Please show me another city with this type of energy, with this type of shit just randomly going on. Please tell me another city that invented hip-hop, invented salsa music, is a jazz epicenter, dancehall epicenter. I think you could say Double Dutch comes from here. What other city got that kind of resume, please? And what other city, and I travel a lot, what other city do you see such amazing street performers, okay? Not in LA, not in London, not in Chicago, not in Miami, not in LA, I think I said that already. Not in Paris, okay? They don't compare to the type of shit you see in New York on the fucking subway and on the sidewalk. So, I'm just gonna read real quick, okay? Oh, David A. Walker, the one who started this classic, he was a New York detective. All right. They said this has been going on for 31 years, but then it says something about the 70s, so I don't get that. But it says that the history of the game of Double Dutch was written by David A. Walker, the founder of the sport. The founder of the sport. He's the founder of the sport. I'm just reading what it says. What they gave me the Apollo brochure. The founder of the sport traces the probable origins to ancient Phoenician, Egyptian, and Chinese rope makers. They plied their craft at rope walks, spaces 900 feet or more in length, usually near seaports, with a bunch of hemp around their waists and two strands attached to the wheel. The rope makers walked backwards, twisting the rope into uniformity. As the runners traveled the cluttered floors supplying the spinners with hemp, they had to jump the twisting ropes to make their deliveries. They needed quick feet, lithe bodies, and good eye perception. It is possible that at these ancient rope works, the basic framework of Double Dutch evolved. In all likelihood, the rope spinners, runners, and their families patched together a leisure time activity from their work. The strand over strand turning movement of the spinners, the footwork of the runners, evolved into the game. Thereafter, it was passed from generation to generation. Thank you. Settlers brought the game to the Hudson River, my camera, of New Amsterdam, now New York City, which is so funny because I went to Amsterdam in 2019 and 2020. I love Amsterdam. Amsterdam and Paris remind me a lot of New York, but going to Amsterdam reminded me of like, oh yeah, New York is a Dutch colony. And so there's a lot of things about Amsterdam that reminds me of New York City. And even Harlem, like in the Netherlands, there is a town called Harlem. And there's a town called Brooklyn. And I'm like, oh yeah, Brooklyn, they call it Brooklyn. But Brooklyn and Harlem, those are towns in the Netherlands. Amsterdam is a city in the Netherlands. But in Harlem, New York City, there's a street called Amsterdam Avenue. Amsterdam Avenue is right next to me in Harlem, right? Then it would make sense that Double Dutch came from New York City, and it came from the Dutch, right? So when the English arrived and saw the children playing their game, they called it Double Dutch. The game has since grown over the years, particularly in urban areas. Double Dutch became a favorite pastime to sign sing rhymes. Sorry, they have a typo. To sing rhymes while turning and jumping. It enjoyed a resurgence in New York City during World War II, only to die out in the 1950s. In 1973, I didn't even know this. In 1973, David A. Walker, then a New York City Police Community Affairs detective, joined by his partner Detective Ulysses Williams, developed the street game of Double Dutch into the world-class sport that it is today. With the assistance of the physical education instructors at IS-10, Walker and Williams revitalized the game by developing it into a competitive team sport. On February 14, 1974, the first Double Dutch tournament was held with nearly 600 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students participating. Since that initial tournament, competitive Double Dutch has expanded with citywide and national championships. Nearly 100,000 girls and boys representing schools and community centers throughout the United States and world compete for team positions at national and international events. The American Double Dutch League, sorry, it's loud. There's so many people out here now. The American Double Dutch League, the sport's first governing body, was formed by David A. Walker in 1974. I didn't know any of this, so I'm learning. So loud. Look, these dudes wheeling down the street. I couldn't see it. So much going on in New York. Okay, the American Double Dutch League, the sport's first governing body, was formed by David A. Walker in 1974. He resigned from the ADDL in 1992 after serving 18 years as the governing body's president. Mr. Walker went on to form the International Double Dutch Federation, the international governing body of the sport, the National Double Dutch League, the world-famous DDDD Dynamic Diplomats, a Double Dutch team, and more importantly, the Double Dutch Holiday Classic. So what I just left right now was historic, okay? Now, look, these kids are so cute. So there's just so many people outside, more people than there was before. And it was just absolutely amazing. And this is the reason why. And you see, nobody out here is tripping because it's cold, but it's really not that serious. You can't, when people don't want to come to cities that have a winter because of the cold weather, you're blocking yourself out of a lot of cool shit. Because some of the coolest cities, or the city with the dopest shit going on, be cities that get cold weather, like Amsterdam, like Paris, like New York. And when you just get dressed and keep it moving, it's nothing, right? But you know, there's not many cities that's, yeah. Oh, it was a Double Dutch competition. Yeah, it was a bunch of kids that came from like all over the place. Yeah. Oh, sorry. A lot going on. But there's so many. I'm like, what are they all doing out here? Let me see. All the kids with the awards. Look, oh look, they're so cute. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to show you all the kids with their awards. I was trying to congratulate all of them because they were all so good. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, all right. No, you're filming too. I'm fine.
We're all trying to take the same picture.
Yeah.
Someone usually posts a good one.
So it's all these people out here. Did you have family that was competing?
Yeah.
Oh, they're the ones with the trophies? Oh, they were great. Yeah. So many people out here. Wow.
25 and get the marquee.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let me get out the way. Excuse me. Let me go to the other side of the street.
I am close to the door, 253.
I think you guys get the point though, right? You see, so just a mixed group of people, and totally representative of my experience growing up in New York City. When I grew up in New York, I loved every second of it. I never wished I lived anywhere else. As a dancer, this is the best, city. It's like you have the best of the best that come to New York to compete, but you also have so many innovators here. So it only makes sense to have this competition at the Apollo. And so I just wanted to share that little bit, so you probably learned something about Double Dutch. And I'm definitely coming to this next year. And they asked me to be a judge next year. It would be my pleasure. I love watching those kids because in double dutch, it takes, it's footwork, it's coordination. It takes coordination with your teammates. Turning in itself is an art form. And just the type of things that they were doing. It takes high level, rehearsal, mental skill, gelling, rhythm, footwork, being in shape. I was getting tired looking at them. And I'm just thinking, kids can also be inspiring to stay in shape. One of my main inspirations for staying in shape is the fact that I'm a dancer. And as a dancer, we can only do our art form for as long as our bodies can physically do it. So because I'm a dancer and I study many different forms, I don't want to have bad knees or a bad back or be like I can't jump. One day I'm not going to be able to jump no more. But you know how you try to prolong that? You just keep on jumping. You keep on doing it. So watching them was inspiring to me on so many levels, and I just loved it. I can't say enough good things about it. They asked me to be a judge next year, but really I would love to be press and film some of it so I could share some of it with you. But there were professional photographers there, videographers. Hopefully I can find some good footage. Because the team there was a couple of teams from Japan. But one of them, and this is so Japanese, but they came out with cornrows. It was like 2 girls and two guys, right? And they came out with cornrows with red, yellow, and green in their hair. They had dyed their hair red, yellow, and green cornrows, braids. And then when they danced, they were dancing to dance. They were double dutching to dance hall and hip hop. You had another Japanese group that had on do-rags. I'm like, all 4 of these dudes have on do-rags for real. And the girl had on the Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And they was doing their hip hop, breaking, acrobatic stuff. The group from Belgium, all white group from Belgium. The dude in there was doing all kinds of one-armed handstand jumping stuff with the jump ropes. It was amazing. And they're working on making this an Olympic sport. This along with pole dancing. So keep your ears open. But yeah, yay to New York City, yay to the Apollo, and yay to the sport of double dutch, which I don't see that much anymore, and I have so much respect for. I just absolutely love the performance. It just gave me so much energy, and now I'm happy and I'm in a good mood. I'm gonna go smoke my blunt, go to the supermarket, eat my food. Been to New York, you must come to New York. And if you've never been to Harlem, you must come to Harlem, because New York is dope, but all the realest shit in New York happens in Manhattan. I'm just gonna tell you. All the realest shit in New York, the highest level of the highest level, happens in Manhattan. But if you come to Manhattan, make sure you come uptown. And if you come to New York City, explore the city, because the whole city is dope. The 4 boroughs, not the 5, because nobody cares about Staten Island. But the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan all have their own little flavors. But Harlem is where it's at for real. Nobody else has the Apollo, okay? That's in New York City. You gotta be good to be on that stage. And watching those kids walk by and rub that piece of wood, and they weren't even nervous. I'm a performer, I know, and an athlete, former athlete. I know how nervous you can get before you're about to, especially your competition. And then at the world famous Apollo. So mad props to those kids. But anyhow, hope you guys have a good day. Bye.